I'm Joseph Olowu, 22 years old, play for Doncaster Rovers, hopefully soon represent the Super Eagles. I think just in the neighbourhood and the environment that I grew up in, I think football was kind of the way out. And in terms of, if it wasn't football, it could have been something else. And it was early on as my mum that kind of got me my first kit. I remember it was a United kit. She got me a ball to go with it as well. And then when my dad once came over from Nigeria, then he kind of got me going out to football and kind of little soccer schools in the summer and stuff. And interesting fact, my first introduction to football was as a goalkeeper. But after about 2 weeks, I was not pleased with getting balls smacked at me. So I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. Threw the gloves away and just became an outfield player. How much time have we got? Because it kind of goes very, very far back to when I was probably about 8. Was probably the earliest I can remember kind of my first introduction to academy football. Millwall asked me to come down for a 6-week trial period and went down. Thought I was having fun, enjoying it. Came to the end of the 6 weeks, they called all the boys together. They called me, said, look, you don't feel as though you're good enough. And that was the end of that. And I think at that age, for an 8-year-old to be told you're not good enough at something you love doing, it can almost be a kick in the throat. But I kind of used it as motivation for myself, and I kind of went on to then join a Sunday league team, shall I say. And that was probably some of the best times of football, just being with my friends, no care in the world, turning up, whether you've eaten breakfast or you haven't, 5 minutes late or you're 10 minutes early, it was just amazing. And then from there, progressed on, got noticed by Arsenal on trial at Charlton, and that was some story in itself because I was kind of spotted by one of the senior people on the sidelines, and they kind of said to me during the game that, look, after the game, come and see us and we'll go from there. And I paid no mind to it because I'm thinking I'm only on trial at Charlton and you're a big Arsenal wanting me to come down. So I was just like, you know what, blew it over. I thought they were taking a mick out of me. So I was like, I'm going to leave it. Lo and behold, they called my mum later on that evening and said, yeah, Arsenal actually want Joe to come in. So I was a bit like, damn, this is some experience. And I remember the first moment when I drove into Hale End training ground, I was just like, this is actually the Arsenal Football Club. And it was amazing because I went in there with not much expectations. I was just a bit like, you know what, if they sign me, great. If they don't, then at least I've got a good story to go back to school and tell my friends about. And 5 weeks later, thank God, they called me into the office and said, yeah, we're gonna give you a contract. And from there, it's just progressed on and it's been amazing. I think my family play a big part in terms of I probably don't tell them a lot. They do know because I do show it, but in terms of what they mean to me, in terms of the motivation they give on to me, it's priceless, honestly speaking, because if it wasn't for them and my mum and dad, the way they've brought me up, me and my sisters, the way they've brought us up and the values they've instilled in us, I don't think I would have continued through some hard times in football and just in life in general. And then my sisters as well, they're very academic. And for me, I look at them like, damn, you guys, the professions and the career paths they've gone down are very male dominated. And for them as young black women to have stepped into those roles and be like, you know what, we're gonna make a difference. It inspires me because I'm like, look, if they can step out and almost be the anomaly in their environment, then I'm playing football, something I love to do. It should just come natural to me. And honestly speaking, my family are probably big inspirations for me. Faith in God is probably my everything. There's honestly not a day that doesn't go by where I don't pray, where I don't listen to worship music, where I'll probably read my Bible first thing in the morning as well. It's probably what my whole identity is built around. And for me, it's massive because when I can have that identity in Christ, it allows me to know myself even more. And it even stems from my parents being the ones that have kind of brought me up and my sisters up in the right way. And I got to an age where I was like, you know what, I've got to kind of take this on myself and use my own initiative and actually seek what religion is and what Christianity is and what Jesus Christ means to me. And I think I've gone through a lot of life experiences where I've had to just rely on God. And if I didn't have those moments where I had to learn that, you know what, relying on God kind of helps you in anything. I don't think I would have got out of them. For example, last summer I was without a club. Went from Arsenal Football Club, probably one of the biggest clubs in the world, without, to 2 months just scratching and scrambling and battling, trying to find to go here, to go there, and it was tough, honestly speaking. And in that moment, I think I just had to trust God more than anything, because I don't know what's going on. Of course, I trust my amazing agents and the work they're doing behind the scenes, but by my own knowledge and my own willpower, I have no idea what's going on. I can only hope and pray and keep trusting that God's going to bring me out. And the way it all happened, from signing with Synergy Sports to then going to Doncaster Rovers and just being given a short-term contract, almost like a lifeline. And then for me to then turn around, then a few weeks after signing that contract, they extended my contract even more, was just a testament that, you know what, if I put all my faith in God, then He'll never leave me and He'll always stand by me. And that's, honestly, it's massive for me, sincerely speaking. Have as much fun as you can. Like, from the moment you get into it, as soon as you step across the white lines, have a smile on your face, honestly, because you'll enjoy these moments. And football will get tough. It's not going to be easy. Nothing worth having is meant to be easy, but trust and believe that if you stick at it and you're dedicated, then it will all be worth it. Because I've had to go through injuries that I could have said, you know what, that's it, I'm done. I've probably had 2 major surgeries in 18 months. Some people either go one way and just fall into a depression and don't get out of that, or for me, I just took it as motivation. You know what, I'm gonna have to come back twice as hard, and that's the resilience you're gonna have to have, because people are gonna talk to you and say, oh, are you sure you wanna get into football? There's so many people playing football. The stats might be against you, but you just need to be for yourself. If you back yourself, then there's nothing anyone else can tell you. And honestly speaking, you've got the whole world. Like, when people say the world's your oyster, they really mean it, because you can do anything you put your mind to. Believe and achieve, and anything's possible. Like and subscribe to Inside Success magazine.